pastor arrested after first responders reported finding several people locked in the basement of his home. Well, now police have also arrested that pastor's wife. They are both accused of operating an unlicensed personal care home for the disabled and poor.
So yeah, I've seen this story everywhere, and it just doesn't sit right with me. There's a lot of holes in it just from what I've seen on the internet. I don't know these people. I ain't never been to their church. I don't even know none of the parishioners. Ain't nobody even reach out to me. But I'm just looking at it and I see holes in this.
Going to fight the charges, insisting they have been helping people, not abusing them. Our John Sheerick spoke with the pastor tonight and joins us now live from Griffin.
And his attorney is the one who did the talking on camera, but he says he's just trying to provide a badly needed service for the forgotten, the disabled, the poor here in Griffin and beyond, and wishes police would support him and his wife so they wouldn't have to shut down.
Pastor Curtis Bankston fights back tears with community supporters. His wife, Sophia, just arrested and now in jail 1 week after Griffin Police arrested him. They are dumbfounded, he says, through their attorney, at the allegations against them.
There was absolutely no false imprisonment, no kidnapping.
Attorney Dexter Wimbish says the Bankstons have been operating a personal care home in the basement of their home for just over a year, taking in wards of the state and others, disabled, poor, homeless. There were 7 people living here as of last week. Wimbish says the Bankstons have repaired the bolt lock that police say kept residents inside against their will.
They were free to come and go as they pleased. No one was held hostage.
And Wimbish says the Bankstons should have gotten a local license to operate the facility inside their home, and they will. But then he showed canceled checks and other documents that he says prove the Bankstons are providing a genuine and necessary nonprofit service for people that too few others offer.
You're not talking about somebody profiting off of the backs of the poor. You're talking about somebody who's actually doing what God commanded us to do.
The Reverend Joseph Wheeler of the National Action Network in Henry and Clayton counties says he's worked with the Bankstons for 30 years.
They're not criminals. They are caring for the vulnerable among us in this community and other communities.
6 of the 7 residents have been placed with other services, but Shun Taylor is still there.
It's a safe, quiet environment, and I can take my medicine and eat my food in peace and taking care of me.
Griffin Police continue to investigate and say more charges are possible. The state is also investigating this personal care home.
Okay, number one, they said that they were locked in the basement. Did y'all take a look at that basement? It's glass. There's a thin glass windows, thin glass door that is easy to escape out of. That's not a place where you hold someone hostage, where you imprison them, someplace with those thin glass doors and that thin glass window. That makes no sense. Second of all, they said that the lock was messed up. All right. Take a look at that lock. That lock is like everybody's lock in everybody's house. We all got those locks. So I don't really understand what you're talking about. They had some old sophisticated locking them in the house. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's keep on going. So we up to number 3. All right. They said that they had an unlicensed place. It was unlicensed. That is against the law. But let's keep this in mind. It's a pandemic. Homeless people have been kicked out of shelters. Mental patients have been kicked out of mental facilities. And sick and elderly are being kicked out of the hospitals. So where are these people supposed to go during a pandemic? I bet you that the paperwork to get this group home together is very extensive and kind of annoying. And they had a choice to make. They had people that had nowhere to go and they opened their own homes. How many of you are willing to open your house to let in these people? Not many. They talked about those locks. Oh, they were locked in and somebody called about a seizure. Who called about the seizure? What happened to the patient with the seizure? They never talked about that. Did they take him to the hospital? I believe that there was no seizure. Take a look at this.
I was surprised, heartbroken that would happen so close to our home.
Kim Brooks lives across the street. She says herself and others in the neighborhood did not know what was taking place in Bankston's home, but there were concerns.
You could tell there were more people there than probably should be there, just even based on the amount of trash that they had every week.
She recalled one night a man with a walker who appeared lost came to her door. He was looking for Bankston's home. She helped him get there. Remembers he said he had to enter the home from the backside and he walked around, which to her seems strange.
But it makes me sad that he could have been in a situation where he was not being taken care of.
That neighbor says even though she lived across the street for more than a year from the Bankstons, she never met them.
Oh, yeah, that's the neighbor, the white neighbor who did not want those people coming and going. Oh, wait, did she say coming and going? That means that the people weren't locked in. Am I correct in that? Okay, let's keep on going. So now I feel that one of these neighbors that did not want this institution happening in their neighborhood called the fire department and called in this fake seizure. And then the fire department, let's keep in mind, they said the fire department broke in the house.
Meanwhile, Griffin Police behind me began investigating last week when Griffin firefighters responded to the home in question about a person having a seizure. They noticed a door to the basement was deadbolted, and they actually had to go through a window to get into the basement to get to that patient. And based on what they saw, they then contacted police.
I don't care what they say, they couldn't get in the door. What if nobody let them in? They broke in the window, okay? They broke in the window and probably scared the people in there half to death because nobody in there probably even called them, all right? Let's keep on going. Did any of the patients accuse them of neglect? I didn't hear none of them talk about neglect. The one patient that they did interview was the gentleman on the walker, which he could have taken the walker and busted the door down if he wanted to get out, said that he was just fine and he was getting his medication.
But Shun Taylor is still there.
It's a safe, quiet environment, and I can take my medicine and eat my food in peace and taking care of me.
Let's keep on going. They talked about how the black people got receipts for everything that they did with the money.
But then he showed canceled checks and other documents that he says prove the Bankstons are providing a genuine and necessary nonprofit service for people that too few others offer.
Why are we so quick to believe the worst about our brothers and sisters? It is a pandemic, and Pastor and his wife opened the door. Let me get their name right, since y'all all talking their name and tucking their name into the dirt. Curtis and Sophia Bankston were kind enough to open their own home. Their own home during a pandemic to wards of the state elderly and mentally ill. Imagine if you were them. Imagine you are Pastor Curtis and Pastor Sophia Bankston. Imagine you do this in your community, and this is the thanks you get. All of us sitting here laughing in the comments and talking about them and ridiculing them, and all they were trying to do was open. Imagine that's the thanks you get. And then you wonder why we don't have no black leaders. And then you wonder why people don't want to put it on the line and help other people. Because you take it and you smash it right back in their face. It is terrible what I am seeing being said about these people. It is terrible. Y'all not even doing it's right there in your face. It took me 5 freaking minutes to pull this apart. 5 freaking minutes. But no, everybody's just posting and reposting on our own brother and sister. Pastor, I'm sorry that this is happening to you. And I hope this doesn't deter you from helping more of our brothers and sisters in need in the future.